Toxic players. Now, toxic players have been getting a lot of attention recently within the gaming community, and a lot of games are doing their best to combat toxic players by banning toxic players, maybe through racial remarks, like if you make a racist remark, then you get banned. Okay, fair enough. But there's some games that take it a step further, where basically any unsportsmanlike conduct, when taken too far, will get you banned. Now, just so everyone's completely aware, there is no empirical evidence in this video. I don't have empirical data to back up my claims. This is completely through my experiences and my observations, and I'm basically just putting my opinion out here and asking you guys, like, hey, do you think this is accurate? Have you through your experiences also experienced what I'm experiencing? And this topic came about because I had an interesting conversation with a friend. So now I want to compare two games, League of Legends and CSGO, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Now, League of Legends does a pretty good job with banning toxic players. If you're a toxic player, if you bump into a toxic player rather, and you report them, with enough reports, that player will get banned. He'll get like a chat ban or something, and then later he'll get like a permanent chat ban or something like that, right? And then eventually he just gets outright banned, like his account is banned. Whereas with CSGO, while there is an option to report people for unsportsmanlike conduct, griefing, and trolling, for the most part, nobody really gets banned for unsportsmanlike conduct. Nobody really gets banned for being toxic. But an interesting point was brought up when me and my friend were discussing about why we enjoy playing CSGO more than League of Legends, even though CSGO arguably has a more toxic environment, because you have to keep in mind that they're not banning toxic players. And what it boiled down to was that when we're playing CSGO, everything kind of felt like sarcasm, and a lot of it probably was sarcasm, because nobody's afraid to get banned for what they say. So when somebody says like a shitty "your mom" joke, it doesn't really come across as serious, even if they are serious. But I guarantee you, more than half of the time, they are not serious. Not only that, but in CSGO, people crack a lot of jokes, people crack a lot of sarcastic remarks, there's a lot of banter. That's what we kind of boiled it down to, that's what we called it, is that in CSGO, it feels more like banter, because everyone knows they're not going to get banned, nobody gives a shit, everyone's just kind of trash-talking each other, and that's just kind of the tradition. You get used to it, it doesn't feel that bad. Whereas with League of Legends, I would say, or games similar to that, where they outright ban toxic players, I feel that more players are concerned about what they say, so not very many people are cracking jokes, not many people are making sarcastic remarks, because it can be held against them in the event that they do get reported, like somebody takes them way too seriously. And so what ends up happening is you just get a bunch of players that are so pissed off that they don't care if they get banned talking. Basically, the only people that are going to be doing much talking in League of Legends are people that are so pissed off they do not care if they get banned, leading to, even if there is slightly less toxicity in League of Legends, the game feels astronomically more toxic. I mean, there are probably more players in League of Legends, but that's besides the point. At the moment, just through my observations, CSGO feels like a less toxic environment, simply because nobody gets banned for toxic behavior. Everyone's cracking jokes, everyone's smack talking each other. When like I said, when somebody says a "your mom" joke, you can't help but not really take them seriously. You say your mom joke back. Everyone's kind of just fucking around. Whereas in League of Legends, on the other hand, where people know they can get banned, where people know that the things they say can be held against them, I actually feel as though it's not so much that banning toxic players promotes toxic behavior. I don't think it's that. I think it's more that when you ban people for what they say, the only thing that's left are the toxic players, because basically it's just toxic players that are talking at that point, because they don't care if they get banned at that point. And that's just a funny observation I had. I have no idea if it's accurate. You guys can leave comments down below about your observations through this. And I know Rainbow Six Siege has like a very, very strict anti-toxicity or I think it's more of a hate speech filter. Like if you say a racial slur, you immediately get kicked out of a game. I'm not entirely sure how that works, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But leave comments down below about your observations. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm wrong? Because I'm really curious. Like I said, I have no empirical data to back any of this up, so I'm completely open to opinions, and I'm actually interested in what you guys have to say. With all that being said, please don't forget to rate, comment, share, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.